NBA draft lottery was yesterday, Nate. And let's just say, as a Chicago Bulls fan, I was not a happy camper. So I'll go to the order in just a bit. I'm gonna go to the order right now. So basically, the order of the mock draft, Nate. It was well, first of all, the 14th pick it was Golden State. The 13th pick it was. Hang on a second. All right, so the 14th pick was Golden State. The 13th pick was the Indiana Pacers. The 12th pick was San Antonio Spurs. The 11th pick was the Charlotte Hornets. The 10th pick was the New Orleans Pelicans. The ninth pick was the Sacramento Kings. The eighth pick was the Orlando Magic, and that is the pick I'm not happy with, and I'll get to that in a minute. The seventh pick is the Golden State Warriors. Again, they had two picks in the top 14. The sixth pick is the Oklahoma City Thunder. The fifth pick is the Orlando Magic. They had two first round picks in the top 14. The fourth pick was the Toronto Raptors. The third pick was the Cleveland Cavaliers. The second pick was the Houston Rockets. And the number one pick goes to the Detroit Pistons, Nate. Now, the reason why I'm not happy is because as a Chicago Bulls fan, we gave the eighth pick to the Orlando Magic. But if it landed somewhere in the top four, the Chicago Bulls got to keep their pick. And because it's not top four, Nate, we lose a first round pick. So I'm not happy about that. But overall, Nate, this whole group of prospects coming in, it's a very interesting group. You know, we talked about, and again, we talked about it not too long ago in the last NBA draft with like LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards. That was an interesting draft as well. But this one really does intrigue me, Nate. And the reason why is because obviously, like most likely, the first pick in the NBA draft is going to be Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. You know, he's had a very, very good year in Oklahoma State. He's ranked the number one pick and the number one point guard coming out. So obviously, that's going to be the most likely the number one pick. He's not my favorite though. He's not my favorite pick out of all these guys. I'm gonna tell you who my favorite pick is. Obviously, we got guys like Cade Cunningham, Jalen Suggs. He came out of Gonzaga. Jalen Suggs had a very good. He had a very good March Madness, Nate. You know, for Gonzaga. You got Evan Mobley out of USC. Jalen Green, who's Jalen Green. So I mean, when you really look at it, Jalen Green's a G League player. Jonathan Kuminga, he came out of Congo. He's one of the best international players coming out, Nate. My favorite player coming into this draft, Nate, is a man named Davion Mitchell. That's my favorite player coming into this draft, Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell, he came out of Baylor. He was a junior out of Baylor, and obviously, you know, Baylor won the NCAA championship. But Davion Mitchell was voted national defensive player of the year. And I love defense. I love Davion Mitchell's game. In a way, he reminds me of Donovan Mitchell. You know, they wear the same number. They play pretty similar, except I think Donovan's got a better shot, got a better shooting form and a better shot than him. But overall, Davion Mitchell is definitely my favorite player in this draft. But overall, this is going to be a pretty interesting draft because now we got a nice little glimpse of what these guys are really made of. You know, Keon Johnson is going to be another great player. You look at Scotty Barnes coming out of Florida State. He's going to be a very good player as well. There's a lot of good players coming into this draft. Excuse me, but overall, Nate, this is going to be very, very interesting. This doesn't have that one player where you're like, oh my God, this dude's going to be a generational player like Zion Williamson. I can't see that, you know, because like we're not going to enter that draft ever again. But overall, there are a lot of talented prospects coming in, you know, and it's all a matter of what team they're going to go to. Oh, Cade Cunningham is projected to be the number one pick. Personally, me, after seeing March Madness, I kind of got a better glimpse this year than last year of these players coming in and what they were made of. And overall, Nate, I'm willing to say that Davion Mitchell is going to be my favorite player coming into this draft. I'm going to be a big Davion Mitchell fan coming in.
Play for Baylor, right?
He did play for Baylor,
Yeah.
yeah. Defensive player of the year. So overall, again, he was a big part of that Baylor team. Teams that really did kind of like luck out, Nate, I'm gonna be real with you, is Toronto. You know, they had a good pick. The Houston Rockets, the Detroit Pistons, obviously they took the number one pick, and this is good for them because these are teams that are rebuilding, you know. The Toronto Raptors, you know, Fred VanVleet, very good player. Kyle Lowry, good player. Pascal Siakam, good player. So they have a good team around them. And I think the Raptors might have been the biggest winner in this draft because even though they didn't have a good season, they still have those good players. And adding a top 5 pick could not hurt them, you know? So overall, Nate, me personally, as a Chicago Bulls fan, I really can't talk about this draft considering the fact that the Chicago Bulls ain't getting that. Consider the fact that the Chicago Bulls just lost out on a first round pick. I can't, again, I'm not really too excited about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass it on to you. But before I pass it on to you again, best of luck to all these rookies that are going to be coming in, or all these prospects. I wish them the best of luck, and I hope that the NBA life suits them well.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, congratulations to the Detroit Pistons on getting the number one pick. And yeah, don't ruin it. But you look at all these teams, like you said, Mario, they're all rebuilding, especially the Detroit Pistons. When I look at the Toronto Raptors, going back to your thing with the Toronto Raptors, Mario, they're an interesting bunch. Um, Obviously, the last couple of seasons they missed Kawhi. We all know that. But aside from last year, the year before that, they made the playoffs. So they're a bit of an interesting bunch, Mario. They really are. So I mean, they missed out on the playoffs this year, so their situation this year is different compared to last year. But I feel like they get that one player and they go back to the playoffs. They're definitely a talented team. I think this year it just didn't go the way they wanted it to. So they're a bit of an interesting bunch. The Cleveland Cavaliers really haven't been anything ever since LeBron left. So they've been rebuilding for quite some time as well. Houston Rockets fell off the face of the earth once James Harden left. So they're rebuilding as well. The Detroit Pistons, they're definitely very interesting too because I don't know what's up in Detroit, man. Like they've had so much talent over the years. They've had a lot of veterans come in and out, and they just haven't been able to get it to work. So on the Detroit Pistons, I take that number one pick, and I do what I can to build around them.
Right. And not only that, Nate, like you look at right, and not only that, you look at the Detroit Pistons, and obviously, they got that first round pick, and most likely it's gonna be Katie Cunningham. But you look at like the Orlando Magic, they got two picks in the top 10. That
Yeah,
is that is pretty amazing. And then you
yeah,
look
it
at
is.
a team that's gonna really get scary, in my opinion, if they make the right choices. How about the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, yep,
We're talking about a team who next year might have Klay Thompson back, or most likely will have Klay Thompson back, and you get that big three together again in Klay, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. You got James Wiseman, who's going to be coming back. He dealt with a little bit of injuries throughout this year, but now the Warriors got two picks in the top 14.
yep.
Like they're looking scary to me.
And it's crazy too because even without Kevin Durant, they're still a powerhouse. They just injuries have been hitting them like crazy. Obviously first it started off with Steph, and then now Klay Thompson, and they've been missing out a lot on that. So yeah, that's a team to definitely look out for. If they stay healthy, they get the right pick, everything goes their way. Steph may be a four-time champ. I may be taking that a little bit too far, but hey, I love that guy, Stephen Curry. That's my guy. You don't count my guy out. But with the Orlando Magic, Mario, unlike the Golden State Warriors, the Orlando Magic doesn't have that superstar. So, but they can still build around what they got. You know what I mean? They got a lot of young talent. They're in need of a head coach. You don't have a coach right now. They're one of many teams in the league right now that need a head coach. So if I'm the Orlando Magic, I get that coach that's going to help these young kids get over that hump, get that experience in the NBA, and maybe make a run. You can't count the young guys out. They're just rookies. So they got two picks in the top 10. They better take advantage of that. You know, but going back to what you said about your favorite player in this draft, I think mine's gonna be Jalen Suggs. But Davion Mitchell was very entertaining to watch. I watched him a few times in the March
March
Madness this
Madness.
year. Yeah, and he was definitely very interesting. It's crazy because he looks just like Donovan Mitchell. He has his number. He almost has the same name as him. I don't know. Am I going crazy? Is the Mandela effect kind of going nuts on me? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but he's a pretty interesting player to watch. He's very, very entertaining. But um overall, Mario, there are a lot of scenarios that can happen. I mean, in general, in any draft, anything can happen. So with that being said, best of luck to all the teams in this draft, and again, don't waste your draft picks. But yeah, congratulations to the Detroit Pistons on getting the number one pick, and best of luck to all the other teams in their draft.